Welcome back to another Stock Market Open live stream. Today we've got Bitcoin knocking on the door of 71,000. In fact, it looks like we almost perfectly got rejected at 71K here. We have been over 71K on the minute chart. Let's zoom out on the 30 minutes just so we can look at this a little closer. Excuse me. All right, so take a look at this. We've got Bitcoin having run all the way up to 71,591. We zoom out on the hour basis. We can see previously we ran up to about 73.8. So now basically trying to revisit some of those market highs that we've visited previously. Zoom out on the day chart. We've got this potential setup here where either we're going for a double top or we're going for a breakout past that 73.8 number. I know a lot of people have 100K on their sights, so let's see where we can go. Market's pretty excited though this morning. You've got the Nas up 1%. You've got Tesla up 3%. You've got DJT. DJT is now what Truth Social will be trading as. That is the approved merger and the new ticker for DWAC. Really interesting to see how quickly this actually happened. I thought it would take substantially longer to actually get to a revised ticker. But no, not at all. You are at DJT already. It's like Donald J. Trump. It's already got his ticker. So kind of cool. But that is up 25% in pre-market. So a lot of enthusiasm, so to speak. Enthusiasm and excitement around various different names here. It is... If you look at put option pricing, the market seems pretty convinced though that the likelihood is this particular stock is going to go down quite a bit, especially if Donald Trump ends up needing to use it as a piggy bank, which is entirely possible. So, but that'll again take 6 to 7 months. Then let's take a look at what's going on with the bond market right now. So. We've got the bridge collapsing in Baltimore, saw that, but this morning I want to hit, let's see here, all futures are green, Dow's up 21 basis points, S&P up 36 basis points, 49 on Nas, Doozles, and we're looking at, there we go, okay, as far as yields, there we go, all right, here we go. So as far as yields, we're looking pretty much flat. 10-year sitting down 1.7 basis points, sitting at 4.23. So pretty benign today. Not a massive movement in what we have for rates. We have, let's see here. I'm going to look at the 5-year break-even chart. Let's see what we've got for break-even inflation. Break-even inflation today sitting at 2.46, so roughly the same as where it has been sitting. 2-year yield sitting at 4.59, and with that 10-year sitting at, let's see, 4.59 minus 4.23, sitting about 36 basis points inverted right now. Mitsu, who came out with a downgrade on Tesla just a couple days ago, ended up coming out with MGM and Carnival as a buy. They see MGM as fundamentally misvalued and also see upside to revenue growth over at DraftKings. So they see that as a buy, as well as Las Vegas Sands. You've got, let's see here, Bernstein. Bernstein comes out, well, that people don't seem to care about Bernstein. Bernstein lowered its price target on Tesla to $120 per share from $150. Tesla stock remains high on almost every valuation metric compared to both traditional and higher growth auto OEMs. It looks expensive relative to its reduced growth expectations when measured against tech companies. What you did have yesterday is you did have Tesla announce that they are going to force FSD trials. And these FSD sort of, maybe I shouldn't call them trials, but maybe the demonstrations will be conducted right before you pick up your vehicle. I still think these demos should be done before we, like, in sort of more of a demos phase or like a test drive phase. But that is something that we got yesterday out of Tesla. We also hear that, let's see here, Italy, I guess, reached out to a potential for the production of electric trucks. What is this? The Italian news outlet reported the country's industry minister reached out to Tesla about the potential production of electric trucks. I don't know if that's actually what's moving the stock today. It doesn't make much sense to me. Let's see what else there is here on Tesla this morning. You've got, yeah, Italy's in here. You've got Chinese battery-related stocks moving up. And let's see here. Nope, then you just have the FSD testing requirement, which that did get, I think that was posted about in the post market yesterday. If I remember correctly, that was more like a 2 p.m., but I could be wrong about that. Let me see here. 6, no, maybe not. That could have been more like 11:30. No, so that was during market hours yesterday. Oh, interesting. Anyway, okay, continuing to peak. So, let me see here. Did we just get a little bit of data a couple minutes ago? We've got durable good orders coming in at 1.4%. The expectation was 1%. Durables X transportation coming in at 0.5 versus 0.4. And capital good orders, non-defensive excluding air, coming in at 0.7. So those would be like machinery, factory orders, those coming in higher than expected at 0.7 versus 0.1, which is great. You want to see that for a growing economy. And durable goods, these are going to be things that include cars and appliances. They're up at 1.4 versus 1. And then durable goods X transportation at 0.5 versus 0.4. So very good. Then you've got, let's see here, what else? Some Julian Assange talk this morning. Very good. Okie dokie. And let's see what else we have in the morning. So what's moving up and what's moving down? Let's see. Down, you've got DocuSign. DocuSign moving down a bit. Let me take a peek here. Let's go to Docu. I don't know if there's any particular news on Docu for a couple. Well, it's about 3%. Looks like their CFO sold 400,000 shares. No, that was all 6 days ago. CFO sold, someone else on the inside sold 600 or 861,000. Somebody sold 400,000. Not seeing a big move here on DocuSign, I think, because of that. All right, let's see here. So, okie dokie. Let's see what else. Embraer trades funny in the pre-market, up and down, thinly traded in the pre-market. Very, very little red right now. A lot of green across the board. Let's look at some of the big ones, like Microsoft and them. They were down yesterday, about 1.5%, like 1 1/3. So you've got Microsoft up about 41 bips right now. You've got Nvidia up about 86. Carvana got perfectly rejected yesterday at the 91 resistance level, and it sits there again now. You've got, let's see here, MicroStrategy up another 2.8. Reddit again up 13%. Look at how Reddit is actually memeing. This is crazy. So look at this. This was one of the anticipations, I think, of Wall Street, was that there was a chance that Reddit would meme. So you kind of bled out after the IPO, and then yesterday you just took off. You were up 10%, then you were up 20%, then you were up 30%, and then in the pre-market, you're up another 13.5%, which is just wild. Let's listen in here for a moment. Hold on. He looks angry.
Your question, it's not necessarily a failure. What I worry about is that the price of poker is going to escalate very quickly, and the amount of add-on term premium that'll be put into this system because of this debt will hurt. And who will it hurt most? It'll hurt servicing the debt most, because if you think lowering rates now is maybe because the government's worried it can't afford its own debt, just imagine if the long end of the market goes to 6, 7, 8%. Then the government's cost is going to skyrocket.
Well, ask yourself the question. Look at the German 2-year versus the 10-year versus the American 10-year.
Right.
Why are we the center of capital in the world? Why do we pay the most for money in the world? And it's not because, by the way, our ability to pay. If you look at America in terms of coverage ratio, if we were like a company, tremendous coverage rate, tons of assets, it's willingness to pay. And it's the trajectory of the debt. Now, I have been an optimist on this, and it has been right to say the world would not come to an end at previous debt levels. It's today when I look at it, and I do not see relief down the road. When I look at a relatively robust economy and I see these high deficits, it makes me nervous for what happens if the economy is not this strong. What happens to the debt and deficit? And then again, when you think about
what do you have to pay at that point to get people to lend?
Right. And then what happens to people who are in need in the event of a downturn? What is the ability of the government to help them if we have that kind of downturn?
Zero ability.
Zero ability.
And that's the scary part.
Right. It needs to be part of the conversation. It shows up in our poll as an issue of import when it comes to the deficit. I'll leave it there except to say that there's a big number here for the second month in a row on computer spending, and I continue to be interested in the extent to which the investment in AI is soaking up investments from other places in the economy. It's just something I'm watching.
Thank you, Rick, and thank you, Steve. Let's bring in another voice on the latest data in the overall economy. City economist Veronica Clark's been waiting patiently and listening. Were you nodding a lot? More for Rick or more for Steve, would you say?
I do appreciate the conversation. It's a very tricky topic, of course. Yeah.
And at this point, as far as the data goes, what did you make of it today?
Yeah, I mean, we just got durable goods orders, of course, for February preliminary reading. I mean, strong on the surface, but we did have some big downward revisions to January orders. I'd say overall, some of the manufacturing data has been a bit mixed. We've seen that in the survey data, PMIs that have been a lot stronger, but ISM manufacturing, which is still weaker. Honestly, we're seeing that in a lot of the economic data. There's just some conflicting.
Okay, I'm bored. I'm really bored. This is very boring. All right. Next. So super microcomputers up about 386 in pre-market. Really, once you light that fire on super microcomputer, it just goes. Another one moving is ARK. ARK. I wanted to say I want to see what ARK's holding of Palantir was. I think they've got this. Let me see. Kathy's ARK on Palantir. Let me see. Palantir. Do they still hold Palantir? Oh, yeah. Here we go. Palantir is the number 13th. And we've got a cost average at ARK of 2270 on Palantir. So they started acquiring Palantir. I wonder when they did. And you're sitting at about 2490 in pre-market now on Palantir. Nice. Okay, very well. Next, we've got, let's see here, S&P 500, 5-month winning streak supports case for more gains. Once it's up, it can never stop. Never bet against the gains. S&P 500 is on track to notch 5 straight months of gains from November through March, a feat it's only accomplished one other time in this century in 2013. Really? One other time this century? Oh, that's crazy. Hold on, I write that down. This setup has historically underpinned a secular bull run in stocks that extended. Ooh, bullish. It rose the remaining of the 9 months in all 11 instances with an average gain of 12%. My goodness. Not only does the 5-month run tend to be bullish for the rest of the year, it's also optimistic for April. Nice. My gosh. The S&P can finish roughly 5250 by Thursday, the final trading day of the month. The index will have posted back-to-back double-digit quarterly gains for only the 6th time in the past century and the first time in more than a decade. Nice. Nice. Okie dokie. Let's, what does Becky here have for us? Are they still talking about durable goods?
I think that the truth is somewhere in the middle of where they usually are.
Yeah, but when they agree on things?
That is definitely true.
Well, when they agree on things, it's definitely worth digging into.
Not as fun.
Anyway, Wework founder Adam Neumann may be looking to get his old company back. A person familiar with the matter tells CNBC that Neumann has submitted a more than $500 million bid to buy Wework out of bankruptcy. The source said that the bid could grow to more than $900 million, depending on the outcome of a due diligence process. At the moment, the source of Neumann's financing isn't clear. He was ousted from Wework 5 years ago, and the company filed for bankruptcy last year. Since then, it's been working with advisors to restructure. In a statement, Wework says that it remains focused on finishing the work it began when it filed for bankruptcy and says it believes it will emerge from Chapter 11 protection in the second quarter as what it calls a financially strong and profitable company.
You know, that guy has, like, basically taken that company bankrupt twice. But because he raised money at some of the most euphoric times in America, he has more money available to go back in and try to go for a 3rd time on WeWork. Like, you can't lose, I guess, in America. It's absolutely crazy. It's totally crazy. The more I hear about this Adam Neumann guy, I'm like, when is he going to go away? He's failed twice on the same company. Now he wants to come back for a 3rd time? I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Yesterday, in fact, I'd go back almost a full 12 months. Richard Clarida, in a secular outlook for PIMCO, coming out and saying this Fed's going to accept 2 point something, which sounded controversial at the time, but it's almost consensus now on Wall Street.
And it's led to this incredible euphoria that people are pointing to in markets because you're basically having the Fed that's got your back and you can eat your cake and have it too. What is the consequence of that? Is it inflation that's not 2 point something, but that's 3 point something, to Andrew's point? And then at what point does the Fed have to say, basta, enough? Like, we gotta actually do something and hold rates higher.
Need to put an Italian on that FOMC, don't we? Andrew, thank you. Andrew Hornhorst of Citi. Let's get you an update on stories elsewhere this morning. Here's your Bloomberg Brief with Yahara Hackers. Hey, Yahara.
Hi, John. As we've been reporting throughout the morning, a massive search and rescue operation is underway in Baltimore following the collapse of the Francis Scott Key commuter bridge. ABC News reports the container ship Dolly lost propulsion and control, warning Maryland officials of a possible collision. Maersk issued a statement saying the ship was under its charter. Emergency services say 2 people have been rescued from the water. 1 was in a serious condition. They're searching for upwards of 7 others using sonar, infrared, and divers. Traffic in the port and surrounding area remains suspended. A Bloomberg News investigation has found examples of a growing black market for SpaceX's Starlink internet terminals. The access points have been popping up in territories ruled by repressive regimes, including Iran, Sudan, and Yemen, while Ukraine has accused Russian forces of also using the services. Elon Musk says the company isn't knowingly providing the terminals to any of these countries.
Why did Apple just fall like this? Take a look at this. Right to resistance, support rather, from this angle. This is a level that we've seen Apple hit from both directions multiple times, 169, and falls right to it. It looks like, here we go, China iPhone shipments fell about 33% in February, data shows. Yikes. So again, this is Apple news here. Apple news, apparently that's coming in is that iPhone shipments are down 33% in February. I think this is probably part of the Chinese chip retaliation against America for the amount of chip restrictions the United States sets on China. So they're taking it out by promoting Huawei and Xiaomi and other phone brands over the iPhone. And so that's a big L there for Apple, as well as the AI L we've seen for Apple. So anyway, iPhone shipments down about 33% in February. Likely, I'm going to write this is likely part of a Chinese counterattack for U.S. chip bans. U.S. chip bans. Oh, China. China. Okie dokie. And next. Oh, it looks like Apple wants to bounce off that level already. Look, it's perfect. Just trust the lines. It's very simple. It's one of the fun things we like doing with when we trade in the stocks and site group. Just trust the lines.
Kate Rooney joins us with more. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Becky. Good morning. So Visa and Mastercard are settling a class action lawsuit that's been going on for decades now, 2 decades now. The companies have agreed to lower the rates they charge merchants, that's known as interchange fees, and are agreeing not to raise those rates for at least 5 years. Interchange, as some context here, is the fee retailers pay when somebody swipes a debit card or a credit card at stores. It's set by the card companies. They're also saying that they're going to give businesses a bit more flexibility when it comes to the terms, including the ability to steer customers to preferred payment methods, and they'll allow surcharging. Plaintiff's attorney saying in a statement that this will bring $30 billion or so of savings on fees to merchants. They also say the settlement is among the largest in U.S. antitrust history. Visa, in its statement, saying that these were, quote, meaningful concessions that address true pain points small businesses have identified, while MasterCard, for its part, says this agreement brings a closure to a long-standing dispute by delivering substantial certainty and value to business owners. The settlement resolves claims going back to 2005, guys, when a group of retailers filed a class action lawsuit claiming, among other things, that Visa and MasterCard's fees and network rules violate U.S. antitrust laws. The defendants in the case include Visa, MasterCard, and a number of other U.S. financial institutions. The settlement is still subject to court approval. Back over to you.
Kate, thank you. Again, as you mentioned, this is a long-running saga. We were just looking at the stock prices, and maybe we can bring that back up again, because that shows you right now the street's instant reaction, at least, to what happens. As Kate mentioned, this is still going to be subject to a U.S. court signing off on it. But both those stocks up by about 0.8% this morning.
Yeah, I don't really see a lot of movement there on this excitement over a settlement between Visa and MasterCard, although we could see the market broadly is quite excited today. So AMD's up about 1, Tesla sitting at 2.3 on FSD excitement. You've got DJT, which was DWAC. You can see a bounce here at 51.50. That's actually a priceless level for it to bounce at. Anybody who knows. And let's see here. Reddit at 11.8. Reddit is fascinating to me. Just what's happening at Reddit. Some folks are wondering if Reddit's going to pull a GME move here, or some kind of wild little euphoric run up to $100 or more. Who knows? So then we've got Alibaba. Let's take a look at Alibaba, 60 basis points. And all right, what else? Messy durables data offer few clues. Yeah, agree. Let's see if the Atlanta Fed's got a new GDP report out. Atlanta Fed's sitting at 2.1. Next report is out today, probably after those durable numbers. And so, given that we beat across the board on those, I would guess that GDP is going to get revised up. Again, we're sitting at 2.1 right now, probably popping off a little bit. So then we have macro. What else? Gucci sales warning. I wonder how LVMH is trading these days. Let's take a look. LVMH. Let's take a peek here. Zoom out on the day chart. Yeah, it looks like you had a little bit of a move down here on the Gucci sales warning, but stock's done pretty dang well here. Somebody here in the chat says QuantumScape is gonna pop today. Yeah, QuantumScape. QuantumScape, your battery technology company, up 1.2% in the pre-market here. Boy, you don't really get the volume. Sort of barcoding over here. Kind of look like the barcoding you get over at Visa and Mastercard, which is not commonly traded, but you might be right. Maybe there's something coming. So let's see here. Then we have. So we saw Apple's iPhone shipments. We saw that. Let's see. We have the DJT DWAC merger that took effect. Again, I'm surprised how quickly that took effect, but all right. Then, not much else. Let's see. We're gonna have to go start digging into research to see what else is going on. Why are they saying breaking news? Oh, this old news. Okay, we saw this yesterday. The power failure. Let's see what else.
After a container ship rammed into it, the incident took place around 1:30 a.m. Eastern Time when a Singapore flagged ship hit one of the bridge's support structures. As of a news conference last hour, the Secretary of the Maryland Department of Transportation said there had been no confirmed fatalities at this point. Baltimore's fire chief said earlier that 2 people were pulled from the water. Maryland officials said that the FBI was on the scene to investigate if there was any connection to terrorism, but as of last hour, they had concluded that there wasn't. Our next guest tells us...
Yeah, it seems like it was some form of power failure that the ship ran or occurred on the ship. And after the power failure, the ship basically just drove right into the pylon of the bridge, and the entire bridge collapsed. Kind of crazy.
A median gain of about 8%. Here with some more content, Paul Hickey, a co-founder of Bespoke Investment Group. It seems like a kind of an indication of momentum that's hard to, it doesn't dissipate immediately.
Yeah, good morning, Joe. So I think the point of highlighting a metric like that, as well as several others we could cite in that or similar respect, is telling us what type of market we're in. And these types of patterns typically occur in bull markets, and bull markets are by definition periods of above average return. So if you want to get in front of those animal spirits and try and bet against the market, you're really going against the grain, and be my guest if you want to do that, but it's a risky proposition.
Seems like a lot of times a little bit of a pullback, builds up some skepticism and helps the market advance. I mean, we haven't had any sell-off of any kind. The VIX is low. There's no volatility. It's just been a slow, steady rise. What do you attribute it to, Paul?
Well, so I mean, I think we constantly hear about how the Fed, the pricing of rate cuts is going further and further out, and how is the market rallying in the face of that? Last week, Fed meeting, put the nail in the coffin on a May rate cut, and the market had its best week of the year. So you got to take a step back and think to yourself, okay, what is this market rallying on? Because it's certainly not rate cuts, because in January, we're pricing in 7 rate cuts. Now we're pricing in 3 rate cuts, and the market has done nothing but go up steadily since then. So what you have to think about is we're in a global bull market here. We're seeing Japan hit record highs. We're seeing Europe hit record highs. And economic growth here in the U.S. is stable. And even inflation, which is higher than the Fed's target, appears to be stable. And in that kind of environment, stocks can rally even if you have slightly higher than expected inflation or higher than preferred inflation. The Fed is, though, confirmed on the sidelines. And, just be careful what you wish for. Last week, we had the best week of the year when the Fed pushed out rate cuts further. So when that rate cut does come, they cut rates for a reason, as we've talked about in the past, and they usually don't cut rates because things are going great.
Paul, have multiples changed at all What do you have where do you have the multiple? And is this advance all been growth in the bottom line of companies?
No, we have seen multiple expansion. We've seen about, we've seen, I mean, the S&P's trading, depending on what metric you're looking at, but about 21 times earnings, which isn't cheap by any stretch of the imagination. But it comes back to the point again that we're in an environment, bull markets, you tend to see valuations expand. And there's been a lot of, we talked about last time how this rally, if you break out the performance of stocks during this rally, it's all most of it's based on AI and prospects for AI. Companies that have any exposure to AI or stand to benefit in any way from AI have rallied. And it's no surprise that the market...
Well, except for Tesla. Tesla's AI is probably the best and most practical AI that exists. It hasn't gotten a lot of respect for it, though.
And you think that's not just a coincidence?
No, I don't think it's a coincidence. And I think over time, you're going to see, I mean, we have concerns over inflation. I think, automation and not just, generative AI, but automation in general is going to have, if you thought the internet was, a deflationary force on the economy, I think AI and automation is only going to be, multiples greater in terms of, keeping inflation in check. And, we're dealing with above average inflation now, but the metrics we see don't point to another wave higher in inflation like we saw in 2021 and 2022.
So do you think we do need to see some worry about the economy to get the rate cuts? So you think that will happen later in the year?
Well, think about this. The Fed is one of the most apolitical institutions we have right now. And if you look back historically, again, be careful what you wish for. The only time the Fed cut rates after May in an election year was in 2008. That was 100 basis point. The sun's coming in the window now here, but there was a 100 basis point cut when the economy was falling apart. So we're starting to lose that window of when the Fed could comfortably come in here and cut rates, and that would be not seen by a certain side as being a political move. Someone.
Now, worth mentioning here regarding being seen as a political move, I think there's a high likelihood that you get a Fed that purposely waits until September, November, December for rate cuts. And part of that is, at least in part, driven by politics. They don't want to start cutting too soon before the election, or at all. I mean, they could potentially cut right after the election. Max here aptly points out that Elon did post yesterday at 7 p.m. that everyone will be getting an FSD trial for along with their or for 1 month, and it's really just to get everybody on or capable of testing FSD, the latest version of FSD, at no cost. Now, we've been calling for Tesla to do a trial on the channel. We've also been calling for Tesla to lower the price of FSD. It looks like now they're going to start with basically new users have to have a demo with FSD, which I'm okay with. I think is long-term bullish. And then the follow-up is that there will be it says here, Elon Musk wrote, all U.S. cars that are capable of FSD will be enabled for a 1-month trial this week. Now that's pretty good. 1-month trial for FSD. This is the perfect time to be doing this because it's coming at a time where you're expecting very kind of miserable deliveries, and so you're actually getting enthusiasm that maybe now could a wider FSD release end up helping drive this stock out of this disaster that it's been in, as the company tries to essentially prove itself as an AI company. Now, personally, I believe it will take earnings to really solidify these sorts of gains. And we're not likely to see a greater shift in FSD earnings, likely for, I would guess, at least 2 quarters. Most likely, it'll be a couple years before we really start getting that take rate meaningfully moving up. But certainly, I think the take rate will move meaningfully towards, well, once the price of FSD is actually lowered. So that somewhat explains the movement here in the AM, that there'll be a 1-month FSD trial, which again, I think is great. I think the trial is great. Not only do I think the trial is great, but FSD 12 is, it's when you're on regular roads, normal marked roads, it's pretty good. In an alley yesterday, it did 3 times try to drive me into a curb and a parking spot to try to go straight because it thought that was the road. And that did make me think, okay, I literally just did the software update, and you literally want to drive me into a curb 3 times right after doing the software update. I understand, unmarked road, in an alley, but it still made me think this is not ready for mainstream adoption just yet, but it is getting better, which is fine. All right, Q is now up about 30 basis points. It's actually down from where we were a little bit ago. A little bit of enthusiasm here. And same thing over at NVIDIA, up about 1% here. And BTC now over 71,000. The enthusiasm continues. Let's see here. Kevin, that FSD left turn on your video was nuts. New fear unlocked. Yeah. I still have heart palpitations over that left turn. Someone here says, FSD will be fascinating. I will long Tesla 101 because of the FSD potential. 100% agree. That will be very, very powerful. The long term for full self-driving will be beautiful for Tesla. I'm very excited about that. Short term, I'm very concerned about deliveries. But it's all right. So I'm going to airdrop another video over here. Liability if the car crashes. No, I'm not so worried about that. Tesla's not taking liability. Tesla autopilot. Problem is autopilot is good enough for most people. It's a hard sell to spend $12K on full self-driving. Most people are probably stretching to afford the car itself. Yes, I agree. I think that's very, very true. Tesla's kind of volatile. I don't know that it's necessarily a volatility issue. Actually, if you just look at the TA of it, look at its range. I mean, you are moving perfectly between the lines, my friends. The lines! This is what we talk about in the stocks and psychology of money when we send the trade alerts. The lines! Just respect the lines and your life will be easier. Can somebody tell me if I'm like smoking dope or something here? Smoking and joking? But I'm going to show a video on screen here, okay? Maybe I'll make a broader video of this and try to explain this a little bit more here. And let's see here. Okay. All right. So let's set the stage here, okay? So I'm in the vehicle. I still lost my connectivity, by the way. I don't know what the hell's going on with my connectivity in the car. But after the last 2 updates, they removed my internet connectivity. So I can't get traffic data. It's really weird. And I do pay my subscription. I did check on that. But anyway, so you're in an alley, okay? You're supposed to turn left or right, right? This is 12-3-1. Yesterday, I'm like, this is exciting. This is great. I got 12-3-1. I'm going to take it on a spin. I'm going to go get the milk. This is so exciting. And I'm like, okay, all right, this is exciting, right? No, the yoke has not aged well. This is the second yoke, by the way. Like, total trash. Like, the build quality on the yoke is just trash. And I don't even touch that corner. It's sad. But anyway, ready for this? So, we're navigating. You can see we're right here. Actually, you can't really see that. Hold on, let me hide myself for a sec. You can see we're right here. And we're supposed to turn right or left on the alley. So, the alley is actually mapped, right? So the alley is mapped, and then you ready for this? With the mapped alley, look where it goes. Does it go left or right, or does it go to the third option, which is straight? Okay, let's see what happens here. So alley, and we're gonna go into this parking lot spot apparently, and it starts accelerating. So I'm gonna I'm going to have to take over here and back up because the car apparently wants to go straight through the parking lot. Look, I get it. It's a beta, but that was like literally my first 30 seconds with FSD 12.3.1, and I'm like, come on, no. Whatever. Like, that is so weird. And it did that like 3 times too. I'll show you another one that it did right before that, just so you know it's not isolated. There's some issue with that area. So the other attempt it did was... So I drove... Oh, yeah. This was the other attempt. Alright, ready for this? So this is the second... And I'm not short Tesla. This was the second attempt. So the first attempt I wasn't filming. First attempt it went into the parking lot. The third attempt I showed you it going into the parking lot. And then ready for this? This is the second attempt. So hands off. And it goes. And it goes. Oh, we're just going to go perpendicular. And it just stays here twitching. And I'm like, bro, come on. So I'm like, welcome to your first 30 seconds with 12.3.1. Like, damn. The problem is, all it does is it takes, you know, a left turn like what I experienced or nonsense like this to make the people who don't want to buy FSD continue to not want to buy FSD. But again, we are getting closer, I will say. We are getting closer. Like, I'm very optimistic about it. All right. So, but again, I like I said, I think you're at like, you know, 96% of the way there. You're getting so much better on FSD. It's just stupid little edge cases that still need to be worked out, and they'll get worked out. So, okay, next, you've got, let's see here, Bitcoin back under the 71K level. You've got Trade Desk at 88. You've got ASML back up 87 bips. New York Community Bank was down like 6% yesterday. Moving back up. Dutch Bros up 173. Let's see here. Enphase. Ooh, Enphase is even up 1% today. Alright. Yeah, no, when I short, I trade as... I usually day trade when I short. I was expecting to hold my Tesla short until last week Friday, or was it last week? Until the Friday. I entered the trade on Wednesday. I was expecting to hold it until Friday. I ended up selling it on Thursday. And every trade since then has just been day trading. And I send all my alerts in the Stocks and Psych group when I do send it. A lot of people, by the way, I'm surprised, bundling up the Stocks and Psychology and Money group with the Zero to Millionaire Real Estate group. I think there's a lot of pent-up demand for real estate that are making people very, very excited. 100%. No, the forced takeovers are exactly what would help Tesla sort of look at those instances and say, okay, is this a scenario that we have to feed more? And me trying it 3 or 4 times and then showing it how to do it correctly, it's not going to train my car, but eventually it will train the longer term algos the next time they run the neural nets. Kevin, love the Lego coffee mug. When did coffee stop hurting your stomach? When I added milk. I think it like killed the, this is my guess in the non-doctor in me. I think it killed the acidity and it gave me sort of a, you know, like a nice little lipid layer in there in my tummy. I don't know, but whatever it is, that helped a lot. I used to have a slice of bread with my black coffee because I always took it black. But boy, as soon as I added milk, I never went back. It was crazy. Kevin, this thing is probably trained on data without emergency situations. The second filter is trying to detect dangerous situations, so majority of the time I probably answer 100%. Oh, 100%. Yeah. An alley, it's not really fair, right? Yeah, exactly. Coffee with milk makes you sick in the morning. Oh. So, let's see here. I like honey and milk in my coffee. So he says, you know, I actually don't like cream. I don't know what it is, but cream just kills the taste for me. And so does sugar. Although there is obviously sugar in the milk, but I don't know. Maybe the taste for coffee just evolves over time. All right, let's listen to what Jimbo has for us here for a moment.
The $10,000 cocoa bill. Yeah. Wow.
Jeffries.
Look at that.
Jeffries does up Clorox to hold as they exit some Latin American companies.
Right.
McCormick. A great chart is year-to-date McCormick versus McDonald's, which got downgraded at Argus yesterday.
Right.
But people are eating at home more as the price of eating out.
Well, they might go to. They might get a.
Okay, I'm gonna jump for a moment. You know, I found this is being shared. Let me see who's sharing this right now. This is being shared. Oh, it's just being shared by the street. No one in particular, but I find this very interesting. This, I don't know why this is being shared right now, but maybe there's a reason here. This is Ben Bernanke, Inside the Black Box, the credit channel of monetary policy transmission. I don't know why they're sharing this, but given that it's from 1995, when we had another soft landing, I'd be really curious to see if there's anything really interesting here. There's the balance sheet channel, how the economy responds to monetary policy shocks, an unanticipated tightening in monetary policy typically has only transitory effects on interest rates, and monetary tightening is followed by sustained declines in real GDP and price levels. Ooh, maybe this is why you got Powell dovish. Maybe that's why they're sharing this right now, because maybe Powell is dovish because of this, is that monetary policy eventually leads to sustained declines in GDP. How interesting. And they're listing this as fact 1. Final demand absorbs the initial impact of monetary policy tightening, falling relatively quickly after a change in policy. Production follows demand downward, but only with a lag, implying that inventory stocks rise in the short run. Ultimately, however, inventories decline, and inventory disinvestment accounts for a large portion of the decline in GDP. The earliest and sharpest declines in final demand occur in residential investment, when spending on consumer goods, both durables and non-durables, close behind. When spending? Close behind. Sharp declines in residential investment. Interesting. This is a warning. That's what this piece is. This is very interesting. Oh, I like this. This is very. I love this sort of historical stuff. Fixed business investment eventually declines in response to a monetary tightening, but its fall lags behind those of housing and consumer durables, and indeed much behind the decline in production and interest rates. Got it? All right. So vector autoregressions. I don't know what the hell that means. Somewhat. You know what? Once we start getting to like the smart level, I start shutting down. I do real estate. Join me. househack.com/2024. By the way, if you have not seen yet, the warrants expire April 8th, and then we're closing our fundraise round June 30th, and then we should be going to the mini fund IPO. That's still my goal, but we'll see. We're should be submitting some paperwork this week, which is very, very, very exciting. Anyway, everything kind of going along course, which is also scary. Knock on wood. Okay, what else? So, does the conventional story fit the facts? This is all back in 95. Composition of spending effects. Monetary policy has its most direct effects on short-term rates. It would seem that it should have its most significant impact on spending of assets with shorter lives. Inventories and consumer durables. Yeah, those would be like appliances, as an example. Let's see. Residential investments that are long-lived assets should be most sensitive to long-term rates, not short-term rates, influenced by the Fed. Got it. Well, everything's gone up here recently. Balance sheet channel. What's the conclusion? Oh my gosh, this is 107 pages long. We're not going to read all of this. I mean, those three-ish facts that we saw there were pretty interesting. This guy's got 50 pages of citations. Holy crap. No, this is 107 pages long. It is literally 80-something pages of citations. Conclusion. What's the conclusion? While monetary policy clearly has a strong impact on durable goods spending, most research has had difficulty identifying significant cost of capital effects. However, conventional cost of capital measures rarely make allowance for variable external finance premium. Okay. The second shortcoming, textbook analysis. After a tightening of monetary policy, much of the decline in inventories in non-residential investment occurs with a lag, particularly after interest rates have begun to fall back to baseline levels. Ah, interesting. So the pain starts when they start cutting. That's very interesting. Following a tightening of monetary policy, firms' balance sheets deteriorate as interest rates rise. That's not true of mega caps. Cash flows decline, no short-term borrowing. That's true for small caps. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's pretty much their big takeaway here. It's just eventually you're going to hit this decline. I think that's what they're arguing in this massive piece here. That eventually things are slow. Isn't that always true, though? Oh, they're still talking about the bridge?
New cars here that have been delivered and ready to be shipped out to dealerships across the eastern seaboard. So the auto industry is going to certainly feel this. There's a lot of raw materials that come in and out of here. There's an Amazon facility nearby here as well. All of that will be impacted, and the length of the impact here is just unknown. That the bridge is massive, Carl, and I can tell you it is in the water right now, listing off to one side. From our angle here, it's listing off to the left. That's a lot of steel in the water that they're going.
Yes, we have received investments at our latest accredited investor evaluation, which is very exciting. But mostly, it's also, I think, an exciting opportunity for folks. And this is just my opinion. We could be wrong, but if we pull off what we're planning to pull off this year, we should never have to fundraise again for House Hack. It should be self-sustaining, which is also extremely exciting. So I think the opportunity of diversifying into a real estate startup is pretty unique, and people should check it out. househack.com/2024.
And Nelson Peltz as Squawk on the Street gets started on this Tuesday.
Okay, let's jump over to Doomberg for a moment. Did I do it? I don't know that I did it. Now we'll figure it out.
Also said that they're investigating. The White House is being kept apprised of all of this. The federal officials, state and local officials, they're all working together to figure out just how this could have happened and why
everybody's all into this tugboat. Look, ship moves forward, power turns off, lose your ability to steer, crash into bridge. Bridge not built for being crashed into by massive container ship, bridge collapses. Seems simple. Like that sucker, I mean, what's the average weight of a container? Average weight, 40-foot container. I mean, that's a cargo ship, right? So that's 8,000 pounds. So that's 4 tons. So how many are on that? 200? 200 times 8,000 pounds. That's 1.6 million pounds of... Ship kept veering right once the power went out. I mean, it's entirely possible that, you know, they were trying to turn and then the power went out and you got stuck in a position, you know. Oh, IPO mini funds would be everything for House Hack. I mean, that's a game changer for both entities. It's insane. The ship is... So I'm not sure what you mean here with the dead. Oh, that's empty. Yeah, exactly. That's empty weight. Yeah, I think 95,000 pounds is empty weight. That makes sense. Oh, yeah, I did see Andrew Tate's tweeting that this is a cyber attack. I mean, I don't know what basis he has for that. I try not to pay attention to a lot of the kind of day drama that goes on in social media. Let's see here. Will you FOMO back into Tesla? Look, man. Show me the trajectory after the next two earnings cycles. It's not the risk is too high. It's too high. It's a good question, but the risk is too high on the downside. The risk is too limited. That FSD is going to drive significant revenues over the next 6 months. So you upside is limited, and the downside is substantially massive, in my opinion. And that you can't. If this company goes negative year-over-year growth, and you know, we're not seeing signs of a bottom in that. I mean, that's probably where you go. The time to make the investment would be right before Tesla really hits its bottom. Now, maybe that's now, right? But I don't think so. Given the Q1, Q2 growth story, it seems like it's worsening. So we'll see. And going to negative growth, the amount of poopy doopy that's going to spread over Wall Street like fire when people hear Tesla went to negative growth. I mean, nuts. So, you know, can I rely on a pre-market move of 3% to tell me things have fundamentally changed? Absolutely not. In fact, I believe that it's entirely likely that this is purely retail. Look at this. I mean, it is perfectly to the 178 line here. And I don't know. Maybe it'll break through on FSD excitement. But it doesn't change anything fundamentally for my thesis.
People on this board of this media company, the likes of Kash Patel, Robert Lighthizer, individuals that worked under the Trump administration, then potentially he can actually sell shares sooner. So that would give him a major windfall, especially as he's paying a number of legal fees.
Indeed. Well, we'll keep an eye on that sale price. Amory, thank you very much.
Yeah, somebody says, you feel more like a trader than an investor these days? Well, I feel that, you know, you kind of have to remember Warren Buffett's rule number 1 and rule number 2. Rule number 1, don't lose money. Rule number 2, don't forget rule number 1. And so I think the prevention of losing money is actually a long-term strategy. I think that's actually a very good rule that a lot more people should pay attention to. And that becomes more valuable than the potential FOMO. But yeah, I have been also day trading a lot, and it's been really fun. I'm happy I bought your course worth every penny. Oh, thank you for that. money emoji. Problem is mega packs are way too what's it called? These are very interest rate sensitive, and the level of revenue that you can generate out of them relative to cars at this point is still too nominal. Long term, fantastic though. Long term, very, very good. No, the minimum right now for House Hack is $40K if you're an accredited investor. If you want to invest in House Hack, just email us at ir@househack.com or go to househack.com/2024. A lot of our original investors are buying even more shares, which makes sense because you have a company that's actually operating now, right? Like before that, it was sort of like we haven't done anything and we just have an idea. Now it's like, now we've done it, now we're proving the model, now we're on to phase 2. So that's been very exciting. I will tell you, there's nothing more exciting than building a business, or it's kind of like raising a child to me. I also have 7 of those children, which I'm also very, very excited about. I am so excited for Summer to come home. Summer, she probably comes home, my guess is before tax day. So a little blessing before tax day.
95%. By the way, Astera Labs is another one. A-Lab. That's coming again.
No, warrants are not tradable. Sorry. If you don't have warrants, you don't get warrants. How's Summer today? She's pooping. No, but she's gonna go to normal feed soon. She can actually get food. She hasn't had food since what, for like 6 days. So it'd be nice for her to get some actual food in her tummy again. It's just, they've just been dumping nutrition into her heart. It's so weird that you could do that.
Some of the call activity on Reddit yesterday has strikes at 75.
This is an amazing situation where there's just not enough stock that's available from these. And by the way, the Reddit, I think the Redditors that got stock, I think a lot of people expect them to flip it. There's no flipping.
When we come back, we'll get the opening bell. We'll talk more about some newly issued names. Trump Media, of course, trading pre-market up some 35%. When Squawk on the Street continues.
What is happening?
Oh, here goes someone. Mike, congratulations. Passed my 4th architecture licensing exam. Good job. Yeah, I shouldn't say. Look, I want to be clear. When I said I shouldn't say Megapack is interest rate sensitive. That sector is interest rate sensitive because of the residential deployments, right? That's like your inverters, your solar, in other words. The Megapacks, those things are sold out. That's not the big deal that's gonna drive a significant portion of Tesla revenue in the near term. I mean, let's just go really quickly here. Go to, before the bell, go to Tesla Investor Relations. Let's see the Megapacks. It's not a 6-month catalyst. It's a multi-year catalyst, right? So go to the annual report. We'll just do it together really quickly, and we've got a few minutes before the bells. Megapack deployments, Megapacks. Let's see here. I want energy. Okay, energy revenue increased to $2.13 billion. Okay, so my point is that even if this is a higher margin product, and even if you doubled Megapack, which you grew 54% last year, let's say you doubled it to $4 billion. Okay, what does that actually do for the company? $4 billion of Megapack revenue increases revenue 6%. So Megapack has the potential of increasing top line 6% if you doubled. Okay, the year ending, can we go to, let's see here. Do we have a quarter? This was in the year, increase in deployments of Megapack, 54% increase. Let's see if we have anything else on Mega here. Which I know we're building more facilities for these. The Megapacks themselves aren't interest rate sensitive. It's the other portion of energy that is. And that's assuming that it's all, again, assuming a double here, another 4, gives you about a 6% increase in the top line. Now, we know margins are probably better. Presumably, batteries usually are running somewhere around 30% margins, which is good. Let's see. Cost of energy and storage increased 35%. That's cost. Improvement in production. Getting down on the cost of the megawatt packs. I think the cost of those is going down too, though. Let me see. Tesla Mega Pack. How much are those selling for now? It was like $2 million, I feel like, the last time I checked. Bells in a minute here. We're now, oh no, 10 millis. Oh my lord. Oh, that's 5. Okay, there we go. Go to 1, $2 million. Haha, I was right. Okay, $2 million. And these are great systems. And it's, you get utilities that invest in these. They're actually really great. Like, I'm very excited about these long term, but as a near term catalyst for increasing revs, it's not your 6-month catalyst. It's your 5-year catalyst, just like FSD. All right, here we go. Let's see how Donald J. Trump stock moves in the opening here.
Goes up. I think people will say, whatever broker you could go to, they'll say, look, you know what, I might stock you out and take some money you can borrow. It would be a very hard situation because you would need the faith in the collateral. And this stock is going up on very, very light volume this morning. I mean, really, maybe 10,000 shares moved it up.
Talk more about it in a minute. Let's get the opening bell here. And the CNBC real-time exchange. And the big board is APS, a builder of factory automation systems.
Wow.
And at the NASDAQ, it's Fox
Look at that
green.
Green here. Lots of green in the markets today. Very, very cool. So let's take a peek at how the market is moving. So first things I want to see, I see someone here in the chat's calling on SoFi. SoFi's trying to show a green candlestick. It is sitting at 0.94. Let's go to DJT, Donald J. Trump. Look at that, 54%. Run, baby, run. Moon, baby, boom. Moon. Look at that. This is crazy. Look at that. Yesterday, it perfectly got rejected off this trend line. And this is a complete breakout. Absolutely insane. You've got Tesla at 3.5. Sitting on that support now. Let's see what happens. You've got the Qs trying to turn slightly red here, but boy, that's going to be tough. Let's see what'll happen. Got Nvidia turning red. You've got, well, trying to go down. You've got Microsoft trying to go down. This is pretty typical, your first few minute move here. Wonder how Lucid's trading today. Apple down. Yeah, Lucid's up 1.5%. You've got AAPL. AAPL get down to that support line. You've got, let's see here. DJT still moving, still up about 42%. Reddit's up 11%. Barring a little bit there. Matterport's up 3%. That's interesting. Super Microcomputer is green by 4%, but it's trying to red candle. Although, again, it's very common the first few minutes you get red, and then you just take off. Not uncommon in this market. Palantir, 1%. You've got Apple, still dipply doodling. Big red candlestick on the DJT, the Donald J. Trump. You got DJT, now only up 32%. What's happening? Still got a red candle here on Apple, Visa-Mastercard after their settlement. Some red candles here. There it goes. Nvidia gets the red candles and starts going green again. Dun dun dun. So are you halted now? Oh, yep. DJT halted on the fall. Oh no, the rug pull. No, the rugging. Oh, this is so entertaining. Yesterday, like, the options on this are absolutely insane. Like, look at some of the costs on this. You're for a 3-day option, or 2-day option. I'm sorry. You're paying 20% for a 2-day option. Holy smoke-a-jokas. This is crazy. These are some crazy, crazy prices. Nazi Dazzy Doozles is finding direction at 30 basis points. Microsoft still red candling. Nvidia red candling. Bitcoin red candling. Yeah, okay, what's going on? Rivian's red candling. Reddit's red candling. Lulu's going up. Amazon's flat. Oh, no, it's also red candling, but it is stock-wise flat. Disney's almost at 120. Chipotle's up over at 2,900. Enphase is up about 2%. Super Microcomputer. Trying to run again. This one's really volatile. It's like your biggest stock in the Russell small caps. And it has performed incredibly. Full 1% now on Palantir. But look at that, getting a little bit of a rally on Trade Desk. Trade Desk trying to push for a rally. And you're up about 266 on the Trady Doozles. Okay, let me see what... is Apple getting more? Yeah, Apple's still sitting there. Outlook, increasingly friendly for high stock volatility. Apple slips 1% on the China volumes. Let me see what else we have here. Charts. Yeah, halted on DJT. Let's see here. BYD's net income has accelerated. Selling all those hybrids, aren't they? Gold takes off. Is that true? Let me see. Gold. Yeah, 22.11 on gold. I wonder if they give us a overall energy margin. I'm just looking through the Tesla doc. Operating margin. Margin. I mean, we could just divide. Let's see. Gross profit margin on the energy and storage segment. Energy and storage has an 18.9% profit margin right now. They actually show it to you right here. And so the expectation is that this will be able to rise. a lot of that's still kind of stuck because of the, what's it called? The solar division. The solar division itself has some higher expenses. Come on, baby. Unlock. Unlock. Tesla's at 4.5. Let's take a look at that. Oh, you got a big fat green candlestick. You've got big green candle. You've got Apple. Apple's actually trying to move up before hitting that line again. Hit that line over here at 169, moving straight up after that. Well, not really. I wouldn't call that straight up. This is much better of a bounce off of the support here on Tesla. Much more excitement moving here. Nvidia doesn't know what direction it wants to go today, and neither does BTC. Look at that BTC drop. Oh my gosh. I wonder what's Micro doing this morning. Let's look at MSTR. MSTR, we're at about 0.5% on MSTR. Okay, watch this if Bitcoin keeps tanking. But, I mean, this is just a minute candlestick, so it could be nothing. Let's go. Let me see here. What else? No, Nvidia is trying to stabilize there. Still at 80 bips. Try to get some other news here. What do we have for caddies coming up? Next caddies are the S&P 20 city moving average or month-over-month average for home prices up 14 basis points. Expectation was 20 basis points. Yeah, such a lack of single-family inventory right now. It's crazy, crazy. I say. Okay, come on, DJT. We gotta watch this. Neo's down 2.4. Oh, it's moving again. Here you go. It just unlocked. You're at 38, 39%. Where are we going to go? Which way is it going to go? This is going to be entertaining. Entertainment guaranteed. It's just popping around the high 30s right now. 38, 39. I mean, I don't know that we have any kind of, like, longer-term levels to look at here. I mean, we could try, but not really. Yeah, I mean, you could try to pick some points over here, but boy, you'd be guessing. That's for dang sure. You'd be guessing over here somewhere. 42, 43-ish. Oh, moving up again. Here it goes. Can't short Trump. Isn't he like 6'1"? Donald Trump height. 6'3". Some people say 6'2". Who knows? What's Obama? Obama height. 6'2". And then what about Biden? 6. Wow. All right. Ooh, Nvidia. Thicker red candle here now. Trying to get a direction on this day to see what direction the market's going to go. Nvidia is a very volatile one, though. This one gets its dip bought almost always. Almost always you see the Nvidia dip get bought. And I'm watching DJT. Still, it's turning red here. I don't know. Those some hard bars. You're gonna need some extra volume to really move that. You're gonna move that. All right. Oh, Trade Desk gave up on some of its little excitement there. So did Palantir. That's interesting. What's going on in the underlying? Because some of the others are just moving down. Fisker down like 59%. Well, they're going to get delisted. I think that's why talks have ended and they're getting ready to delist. Affirm. Did y'all see the Lucid? I guess the Lucid. I haven't fact checked this yet, but I guess the Lucid CEO banned MKBHD. Whatever. From reviewing Lucids. Thought that was really interesting after the Fisker review. ARM still going up here, 3%. This is crazy. We got a short in on this one and made some money on it, but good thing you got out. Good lord. Keeps going. Enphase. Ooh, look at that. Perfect rejection. 113.40 is a line. Well, it got rejected 2 pennies off of that. 113.38. Yeah. Let's see. What else here? Boeing down another 1.2%. I mean, that one's had a little bit of a green candle yesterday after the CEO retirement. Amazon's up 25 bipsy doozles. Ooh, that put yesterday on Lucid went positive again today. Let me see. Oh, yeah, because the stock's going down again. Holy smokes. Tesla breaks 5%. And DJT is still trading sideways here at this level. So you're still trading at that 38 level. 38% up. Apple's not really going anywhere. And the Q's trying to go pause. Let's see here. Let's see. Anything else? Hazmat traffic faces big detour after bridge collapse. Okay, I guess they must have used that. Cocoa breaks $10,000 record with pricier chocolate to follow. Reddit extends gains. Is that true right now? Reddit. Ooh, look at that rocket ship. 15% over here. And then where's Bitcoin going at the moment? It's stabilizing a bit. At about that 70,400 level. Okay. What else? Nope. More No. Okay, let's see what they're saying over here.
What question would you pose on MasterCard Visa?
Posed is, on the MasterCard Visa, I posed that, is this the case that's been kicking around since 2005? And explain to me what the consequences could be. And they talked about how they didn't mention the $30 billion figure because that's a Joseph Stiglitz figure, but they gave me more background than I would if I went to Google. It's really interesting. I'm not using Google nearly as much.
Really?
As I'm. Oh no, I mean, like, go talk to my 29-year-old, and she says, who was like, I had to stop her from Googling her homework, She's, Dad, Google?
Please.
Google, really?
So,
she's friendly with Claude 3.
Does that lead you to think about Alphabet, or at least the search business, in a different way?
Yes, it does. I am trying to figure out, I wanted to sell Alphabet for my charitable trust. Jeff Marks, who's my partner, said, listen, Jim, I think we got to give it some time. That Apple deal better happen.
Oh, BTC stabilizing. MicroStrategy already going up over here. So couldn't really keep any bearishness on BTC there. Can't keep it down. Nvidia though, struggling a little bit. With just up about 0.25%. It's had an incredible run though. So we'll see what direction that chooses to go. Reddit, though, wow, crazy. Straight up now over the open. We opened around, let's see, our opening candlestick here was right about 66, 63, saying about $71 now. So really enthusiastic move on Reddit. Now you're 19%. You're on DJT. You're stuck. Getting a little stuck there, about 30. Gonna get some consolidation here sideways. And then we'll see if we get any kind of breakout to either direction, if we get any kind of directionality here. But this 21% here on Reddit, nice. It keeps going. Keeps going. Okay, let's see what else is.
So I'm worried about Google. It's very funny because if you read the Justice Department's case against Google, since they filed it, you have TikTok, which is #1. It doesn't do anything with Google. It's #1 value, so to speak, of advertising. And now ChatGPT and Claude make it so that you really got to think twice about going to search.
Wow. Somewhat in that realm of mega cap tech names, Jim. Netflix today, B of A takes it off the US 1 list.
Yeah,
and replaces.
I agree with that with Google and search. I use GPT much more often.
Netflix is, whenever you have a conversation about Disney, it's always like, why couldn't they be more like Netflix? And the answer is because Netflix is what we would call, I would say it's streaming native. Just like something's cloud native, like a CrowdStrike is cloud native when it comes to
Reddit's now 25%.
streaming native has a much better view of what can be done. Everyone else is just playing catch up. This is some tape today. We have a lot of stocks. Everything that's come public in the last since the opening of the window is really extraordinary. And the one that we didn't talk about enough was ARM. I cannot believe that window could open. Everyone, including me, thought that ARM would be hammered, and ARM is just too close and positive to it.
Yep, it kept going. ARM's been killing it despite the lockup window. Okay, Reddit just reversed a little bit. Reddit just went from positive 25 to now 18%. You've got, there's the first red candle coming through on the average. Tesla's almost knocking on the door at 6%. You've got DJT now stuck at about, still consolidating, 37%. Uh-oh, here come the red candles. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I wonder, you don't have options on, you already have options? You have 24-day options on Reddit. Oh my lord. $15 for a 24-day option though. Wow. That's crazy. DJT not showing on TradingView. You could try, it might still be under DWAC, but it should be under DJT is what it should be under. Okay, let's hop on over to, let's see if Doomberg's got anything else for us here. We're going to jump on over to the Course Member live stream soon. Let's listen in.
Winter rally, Jess. I mean, it'll be quite something. If we do get to the close of business on Thursday, we'll have only done this a couple of times since 2013.
That's right. And it's very rare, specifically if you're looking from November to March, because that time period usually, as you know, there tends to be tax loss harvesting. So when you look back in history, usually you might see a down year in December or January. But the only other time this century that we've seen a 5-month streak of gains from November to March was actually in 2013. And then before that was actually in 1998. So that just shows you how rare this is. So in order for
this is what we covered earlier, where we were saying that run of or that winning streak is great. We actually put that on eHack. I thought that was very interesting. So it's neat to see them cover that as well. Reddit's stabilizing at about that 19% level, getting a little stable over here, holding on to that 19%. MicroStrategy back to about 2% up. Pretty common when BTC stabilizes. Apple's almost green. Whoa! There's that breakout. So you had your consolidation on DJT. Breakout to the upside on DJT. You're also getting Bitcoin moving back to the upside. Almost back to 71K now. And NVIDIA moving up as well. And it looks like the put on Lucid is still printing from, it printed for quite a bit. And it's stabilizing now. But that was the trade alert we sent yesterday in the Stocks and Psych group. We got a nice, I think we moved in on that one when it was up like 18% yesterday. It was crazy. It was up 18% or something like that. Want to say I got in this candlestick. It was either this one or this one. I'm not sure. I don't think it was exactly at the top. And I didn't get out exactly at the bottom either. But anyway, that was a good one. If you want those buy-sell alerts, I'll send any kind of trade alerts in the Stocks and Psych group. Link down below. As far as BTC, looks like we're going right back to 71K. Here we go. 71K a doozles coming in hot. As well as Reddit now up about 21%. And oh man, look at that. After that consolidation on DJT, continuing to move. Now at 53%. 53 on DJT. I wonder if you're going to go to a Hundy. 10 cent to make some apps available on Vision Pro. Ooh. Yes, more apps on Vision Pro, please. Let's see. Easy short on DJT, says someone. Woohoo. I think that's an easy way to get burned. You can do options. Right now you're spending, if you wanted to get an option, you wanted to get a put at, let's say, $80, you're spending $15 at 80. 15 at 80? That's 18.75%. I don't know, man. That's an easy way to lose money here pretty fast. You'd have to be really lucky. Really lucky to nail that top on the DJT. And frankly, what'll happen is this still needs to hit the mainstream news cycle. Like the fact that the merger is complete and the stock's up 50%, I think you probably have a lot more euphoria left. I don't know. This is a really dangerous one to play. But it's probably a good chance that as this sort of hits more of your like Fox News and all that, you'll actually end up extending gains. Let Let me see. Can I do it? Oh. Let me see here. Oh, let's see. Fox.
Still brand new and fresh, so we expect the same
That's bridge
here
collapse.
when it starts. So stand.
Yeah, and I kind of doubt you're going to get like CNN talking about this.
Kevin Liptak, thank you so much. I want to just give you guys a look quickly at the area where we're expecting there to be a...
They're all just talking about the bridge collapse. It's pretty wild.
And ensure complete.
No, nothing. All right, very well. Okay, let's see. Any last-minute checks here? Krispy Kreme surges the most since July 2021 on McDonald's pack. Ooh, I wonder if that's for the breakfast area. Krispy Kreme shares soared the most since July 2021 after McDonald's agreed to bring the chain's donuts to restaurants across the U.S. Wow. Krispy Kreme. Crispy D-Nut. D-Nut's the ticker. And that is up 18%. Wow. 18% on D-Nut. And that's delicious. I love Krispy Kreme, especially when they're fresh. The problem is, are they just going to deliver like, you know, they're going to deliver the already made donuts. The lineup will include the 3 most popular, which will be the original glazed iced coffee with sprinkles, or sorry, chocolate iced with sprinkles, and chocolate ice cream filled. Ice cream filled. Huh. They'll be delivered to McDonald's locations every day. Okay, yeah, so they won't be like super fresh off the line, but you'll get them there every day. Kind of cool. So, all right, very well. Let's do a last check of the sticks here and get over to the course member live stream.
Even though I'm a licensed financial advisor, real estate broker, and becoming a stockbroker, this video is neither personalized financial advice nor real estate advice for you. It is not tax, legal, or otherwise personalized advice tailored to you. This video provides generalized perspective, information, and commentary. Any third-party content I show should not be deemed endorsed by me. This video is not and shall never be deemed reasonably sufficient information for the purpose of evaluating a security or investment decision. Any links or promoted products are either paid affiliations or products or services which we may benefit from. I personally operate and actively manage ETF and hold long positions in various securities, potentially including those mentioned in this video. However, I have no relationship to any issuers other than HouseHack, nor am I presently acting as a market maker.
Bobbing around on the beach. Oh, Reddit. It's only up 15. Uh-oh. There you go. I wonder if DJT is going to align with that. Ooh, both of them getting red candles at roughly the same time. Tesla's still doing well, about 6%. Red and on the FSD news. Reddit and DJT getting the reds. See if it stabilizes. Anyway, folks, we'll see you soon. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you in the next one.